Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is about MERMAY. If you don't know what MERMAY is, it's basically this art challenge where you draw a mermaid every single day. This was my first one. It was kind of like an introductory one, which is why I wrote MERMAY on it. For every single one of the other days, I just did like this mini mermaid. Usually I use Ohuhu markers for them because it takes like the least amount of time. This is my favorite page. I really like the pearl lady and like the octopus girl. I don't know. This is my least favorite page out of all of them. Probably because I would remember to do MERMAY at like 11 o'clock at night. And then when I finished it would be like at 1. So I didn't put that much effort in. I'm not sure if it still counts because I started before the day ended. But then when I finished it was already the next day. So. Okay, let's get started on drawing this mermaid. I actually filmed this like quite a while ago. I think it was on the 15th maybe. Basically what I'm gonna do is like sketch out like the rough shape of it. At first I was gonna make her eyes just like completely closed, but I changed my mind and I decided to make her wink instead. I'm not very experienced drawing winking people, so it might not look the best. I also added this like really cute mole like under her lip. I don't know why, but I'm like really obsessed with like putting moles on people like under their eyes and under their lips and stuff like that. Kind of like the Marilyn Monroe look, I guess. Then after drawing the hand that was propping our mermaid girl up, I started to draw her back. I made her like arch like a lot, probably like a bit more than an actual human being could, but I don't know, I like arched backs, okay? I think they're pretty. That's not weird or creepy or psychotic at all, right? Then I started to draw her swimsuit. It's kind of like a cloth wrapped around her and I wanted to add like a bow. At first I put it like under her chest, but then I decided to put it on her shoulder instead. The reason for this is because I really like drawing like this line on like people's stomachs, like I don't know, like one that like leads up to the belly button, and if I put a bow there that would like block it, so I just like moved it up onto the shoulder. It took me quite a bit of time to like position it nicely. Oh, and here I'm drawing that line that like leads up to the belly button. It's like that definition that's like abs but like not really abs. Like I want that kind of like line on my, like, is that weird to talk about? Like I don't know. I then started on the tail. I was struggling with the tail for like 30 minutes straight. Like I cut out like most of it for you guys because I don't think you guys want to watch me like do this for like so long. I gave her like this like flappy skin thing around her waist. This is kind of what connects her tail to her body. Normally I would just like blend her scale color into her skin color, but today I wanted to try something new. It's kind of what the little mermaid had too. For the tail I really struggled because at first I wanted to squeeze in her like fin or whatever it's called, but in the end there wasn't enough space, so I just like left it out of the picture. Then I started drawing the hair. I wanted the hair to be like super straight and shiny and sleek and put together. I kind of wanted it to look like, I don't know, like ribbon and like really flowy and stuff like that. Afterwards, I was finally done with my sketch and I used my soft kneaded eraser to like pick up the graphite, and then I started tracing. I don't really know what to talk about here because like tracing is like pretty self-explanatory, I think. I went over some of my lines to make them thicker than the others so my drawing looks like it has depth. I don't really know if I'm saying that word correctly. Depth? I don't know. English is my first language, but like I'm just not very good at it, so. And by adding a bit more variety in the thickness of your lines, your drawing will look a bit less flat, I guess. I mean like, it can't look any less flat because like it's a drawing. It is flat. I don't know anymore. I had a lot of fun tracing the hair because normally I just draw hairs like individual strands, you know? Like I just draw a bunch of lines. But today I was trying to like draw it as like one big shape. After I finished with like the top part of the hair, I moved down to the bottom. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I don't actually know what I'm doing at the ends because I just like made it like randomly wavy. I'm not really sure what's happening there. I didn't put much thought into it. I was just like, I don't know how this is gonna turn out, so I'm just gonna like draw random things and hope it looks okay. When I finished with like the main part of the hair, I started adding a bunch of wispies. My favorite part, I just like add a bunch of like extra loose strands, and I think it like makes the drawing look a lot better. Now that we're finally done with tracing, I'm gonna erase the pencil marks again. I honestly really suck at erasing for some reason. Like, I don't know why. Like, I literally got an A- on an assignment once because she said that I didn't erase good enough. It is finally time to take out my Prismacolors. These are my beloved color pencils that I've been using for like, I think like 3 years now. I'm not really sure. I've used them very excessively, some more than others. Like, some of them are like almost unused, but then like the other colors are just like brought down to a stub. I don't think you guys will care, but to sharpen my pencils, I'm going to be using this adorable little kitty that I got from a teacher. Hi, kitty. Okay, I'm going to stop. The secret to good color pencil work, okay, is to sharpen your pencils, okay? If you have dull color pencils, nothing you do will ever look good, and you'll be a failure for life, okay? Secret number 2, which really isn't a secret, is just go light, okay? Like, don't like rush in there and like color super hard, you know? Like, for the shadows, like, you can color hard, but for the light parts, just like go very softly. You know, it's good to like build it up instead of just like pushing it all on there at once. This might seem a bit over excessive, but I added like a lot of red on her cheeks and her elbows and her like shoulders and fingertips and like chest for like blush. If you ask me why are her shoulders blushing and why are her fingertips blushing, I'm not really sure. That's just where I add red. Like, I don't know. I basically put it all over her body, okay? I'm not really sure if you guys will really care, but for the base color, I used light peach. For the shadows, I used normal peach. And then for the blush and everything else like that, I used magenta. Since I wanted a darker color for shadows like under her chin and below her arm, I used this brown called burnt ochre. After I finished with the skin, I finally started on the hair, my favorite part. I spent a lot of effort on this to make it look shiny and stuff like that. I used light aqua as a base color, and I took care to leave out white spaces as highlights. I didn't really think of like where the light source was gonna be, so I just put the highlights like wherever. I honestly love her hair color like so much. Like, this blue-green, like, aqua kind of color is, like, my favorite thing in the entire world. And if I were to dye my hair, like, one color, it would definitely be something like this. Or maybe, like, baby pink. Or I could do, like, half and half, like Melanie Martinez. Oh my gosh, have you heard of Melanie Martinez's music? It's so good. I like to tell everybody to listen to her music, but nobody ever listens to me. So, that's that. I used peacock blue to add a bit of shading and, like, depth. I seriously don't know how to word, but I added a bit more contour and stuff like that into her hair, and I kind of shaded this like all over like the inside of her hair to make it darker. I also used a bit of indigo blue to like really intensify the shadows. When I was drawing this mermaid lady, I randomly thought of like high cheekbones, so I used this like golden color to like, I don't know, draw shadows under her cheekbones. It might look a bit too orangey for her, but I think it goes well with like the tail color and everything. I added some shading to her cloth like swimsuit too, even though you can't really see it on camera. I'm sure you guys already know, but I'm making her tail like orangey red. And the reason for this, and like I actually thought this time, okay, is because blue and orange are like contrasting colors. Like, you know how like colors have like another color that's like opposite to them on the color wheel, like red and green and like yellow and purple. I love orange and blue together. I also really like baby pink and like an apple green. I don't know why, but like those colors just like appeal to me when they're together. After like doing some basic shading with these oranges, I don't know the names of them, I'm sorry. It's because there are just like so many oranges in this thing and I don't know which one's which, so I seriously can't remember. I also used, I think it was crimson red to shade the orange too, just to make it like a bit more vibrant. I feel like one thing that I could have definitely improved on is like the highlights on her tail. Like, fish are like shiny, right? They're all like slippery and slimy and stuff like that. And I don't think that really came across in this drawing. It just kind of looks like dead inside and like dry instead of being all like watery. Like, I don't know. I shaded like a couple of scales. I don't do like the entire like tail full of like scales because I feel like that's just like, it's too much work, you know? And I think this actually looks better when you only do like a couple of like patches of scales. I used this yellowy color to bring back more oomph into the tail by like coloring all over it. Then I took that same yellowy color and I just added more like orange to her cheekbones. Like, I really wanted that like cheekbone to pop, you know? I wanted them to be like jutting out like Maleficent. And it low-key looks like she just went overboard with the bronzer and like a bit too orangey with it, but it's fine. I signed it and added the date like I always do, and then I went in with a white gel pen and I just added shiny stuff. I added some random white dots on her blush points, and I also added some shine on her scales, and by that I mean I just put a bunch of polka dots. If you guys reached the end of the video, thank you guys so much, first of all. And if you like this, please like and subscribe for more.